14 Russian Tsars. Narration Katie Haigh. Ivan IV, called the Terrible, Tsar of Muscovy. Ivan IV, called the Terrible, 1530 to 1584, Tsar of Muscovy, was the son of Vasily III Ivanovich, Grand Duke of Muscovy, by his second wife, Helena Glinska. Born on the 25th of August, 1530, he was proclaimed Grand Duke on the death of his father, 1533, and took the government into his own hands in 1544, being then 14 years old. Ivan IV was in every respect precocious, but from the first there was what we should now call a neurotic strain in his character. His father died when he was 3, his mother when he was only 7, and he grew up in a brutal and degrading environment where he learned to hold human life and human dignity in contempt. He was maltreated by the leading boyars whom successive revolutions placed at the head of affairs, and hence he conceived an inextinguishable hatred of their whole order and a corresponding fondness for the merchant class, their natural enemies. At a very early age he entertained an exalted idea of his own divine authority, and his studies were largely devoted to searching in the scriptures and the Slavonic chronicles for sanctions and precedents for the exercise and development of his divine right. He first asserted his power by literally throwing to the dogs the last of his boyar tyrants, and shortly afterwards announced his intention of assuming the title of Tsar, a title which his father and grandfather had coveted, but never dared to assume publicly. On the 16th of January, 1547, he was crowned the first Russian Tsar by the Metropolitan of Moscow. On the 3rd of February in the same year, he selected as his wife from among the virgins gathered from all parts of Russia for his inspection, Anastasia Zakharina Koshkina, the daughter of an ancient and noble family better known by its later name of Romanov. Hitherto, by his own showing, the private life of the young Tsar had been unspeakably abominable, but his sensitive conscience, he was naturally religious, induced him, in 1550, to summon a Zemsky Sobor, or National Assembly, the first of its kind, to which he made a curious public confession of the sins of his youth, and at the same time he promised that the realm of Russia, for whose dilapidation he blamed the boyar regents, should henceforth be governed justly and mercifully. In 1551, the Tsar submitted to a synod of prelates 100 questions as to the best mode of remedying existing evils, for which reason the decrees of this synod.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?